Good morning. Welcome to Ivan Talks Anthony. Today we're having an insightful conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversations and content that will be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being. However, in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about how to build a growth mindset for personal and professional development. So I'm going to be able to develop a video that's going to cultivate a growth mindset that's going to be able to help transform the way we learn, face challenges, and even grow in our personal in addition to our professional life, right? This video is going to be backed with real psychology and real world strategies, so it's going to be able to help shift our mind in a world that is, continuously moving, however, in regards to our self-improvement. In our introduction, we're going to dive right into the power of the mindset, right? So I'm always pushing for that positivity, the way that we talk to ourselves, the way that we set the tones, affirmations, and, people that we're around in that environment, right? But we have to make sure that we alter this mindset by even understanding what the mindset is, right? So the power of the mindset. Let's dive right into it. So have you ever felt stuck, like you were just cut out of something? The mindset can be holding you back in regards to that real world limitation. So let's uncover how we're able to challenge these beliefs about learning and growth and unlocking your full potential, right? So some key points I want to dive right into is going to be a fixed mindset sees abilities as static, right? A growth mindset believes they can be developed, right? So we can be able to transition, change, we can be able to improve. Next key point is going to be the mindset influences how we respond to challenges, feedback, and failure. Next, we're going to be saying adopting a growth mindset leads to more resilience, motivation, and long-term success, right? So we want to be able to take in consideration of the mindset. It always can improve, it always can change, it always could be better when we have a positive mindset. However, when we're stagnant, it keeps us limited in regards to, seeking the change that we're looking for. However, when it comes to some research insights from Stanford psychologist Carl Dweck's research shows that people with a growth mindset achieve more because they worry less about looking smart, but putting more energy into learning, right? So let's try to seek knowledge, let's try to seek education, let's try to seek information that's going to be able to help benefit us down the line instead of just worrying about things that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, right? So let's focus on positivity, let's focus on a growth mindset so we can be able to learn more. Next segment, we're going to be diving into the neuroscience in regards of change. Your brain is built to learn. We got to take that into consideration. A brain is a computer system in regards to the body. We got to be able to take that into consideration because it helps us lock in information, learn information, and different things like that when we apply ourselves. So let's move on in regards to, like I said, the neuroplasticity, which is the, how the brain's able to adapt, to grow, and rewire throughout our lives. So some key points I want to dive into. The neuroplasticity proves we can strengthen mental muscle just like the physical ones, right? So same way we're in the gym, lifting, putting things up and down, getting stronger. We have to have the same mindset in regards to our brain, in regards to practicing those mental muscles as mentioned. Next key point, we're going to be talking about challenges trigger growth when we engage with effort, not avoid it, right? So like I said, when we apply ourselves to any task, when we're practicing whatever that task may be or activity may be, in regards to our mindset, is going to be able to help us move towards that success with that effort, that applied effort, rather than being procrastinating, avoiding it, and just putting it off to the side with the stagnant mindset. Next key point is going to be learning is process, not a fixed trait you're born with, right? So when we learn, we're gradually going to get, the ability to, understand in regards to that learning process, right? So it's not something that you just fix with. You're not just born with certain things. However, there's gifts, don't get it twisted. However, the learning process is something that is crucial when we're applying our effort and we're gaining that knowledge. In regards to some research insight from a 2010 study, in trends of cognitive science showed that neuroplasticity continues well in our adulthood, supporting the development of new skills and mindsets, right? So as we age, as we grow, and as we expand, the mind will, continuously picking up things as well, helping us have that growth mindset as well. So I want us to take in consideration that the human body, this is, what we're blessed with a unique brain, right? However, like I said, as we grow, as we age, as we experience, as we learn, the mindset will expand and be able to, capture all of those insights. Moving on to our next segment in regards to the growth mindset at work, thriving in your career, right? So we all out there, we want to get a job, we want to get a career, we want to be able to, apply value, skills, and our gifts into the world, and obviously get back in regards to, wealth or whatever that may be, so we're able to take care of ourselves, family, etc. But let's just, get back on point in regards to in your career, your most valuable asset isn't your degree, it's your mindset, right? Because we got to realize the mindset is allowing us to apply ourselves and get where we want to be by, like I said, the mindset. It starts there. So like I said, it's not the degree that's holding it down. It's us. It's, we applying ourselves, we doing the work. So our key point I want to be able to dive right into is going to be employees with the growth mindset are more engaged, open to feedback, and adaptable. Next key point is going to be leaders who model a growth mindset, create high performance, learning oriented cultures, right? So they're able to make that impact, see things, and create that space. Next key point is going to be embracing challenges at work often lead to promotions and innovation, right? So people that bring with more value, provide more value, are able to gain more of those promotions, innovations, and you're helping the culture out, you're helping that environment out. So we got to be able to take that in consideration in regards to that growth mindset and you're thriving in your career. When it comes to a 2014 Harvard Business Review article found that companies encouraging growth mindsets had more empowered and collaborative employees with 34% higher employee engagement, right? So when you're that vibrant person, you're coming in there with the growth mindset, you're not self-sabotaging, you really love yourself, you're coming and you're oozing off that positive energy, you're gonna realize that it's impacting the people that are around you, making them more applicable to performing better just like you are, because you're giving off that energy, giving off that good vibration, and it makes that environment conducive. I really want us to take that in consideration when we have that growth mindset. It's not just beneficial to us, but it's beneficial to the people around us, right? We're shining. Next segment I want to dive right into is going to be the growth mindset daily in our daily life, right? So personal development matters too. We got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, self-care, always advocating. However, when it comes to growth, isn't just about your job. It's about who you are becoming every day, right? We got to take that in consideration. So key point I want to talk about off rip is going to be a growth mindset helps parenting, relationships, fitness, and habits, right? The person that we are and the person that we're becoming, it's transitioning different aspects of our life. Next key point is going to be self-reflection and goal setting, keep personal development on track, right? So when we're reflecting, we spending that time to journal, right? Or even meditate, or even have that personal time to just reevaluate ourselves. The self-reflecting is going to be able to help us make sure that our goals are intact and we're on point in regards to our life, we're in our lane. Next key point we're going to be talking about, you're not starting from scratch, you're building with experience. So as you're leveling up, as you're engaging, as you're applying yourself, as you're putting that effort and you're having that positive mindset, it's going to be able to help you navigate with your experience. In regards to research insights from a 2020 study from the personality and individual differences found that individuals with the growth mindset experience higher life satisfaction and lower levels of stress, right? So when you're on your purpose, you have that positive mindset, you have that growth mindset because you're always willing to learn, you're always willing to gain more experience. This is going to be able to help you get away from those the anxieties, the depressions, and all those type of things that is going to hold you back because your mind is so in a different type of vibration, more energy, positive energy around you that is breaking off the stress and reducing that stress. So I really want us to take in consideration of the growth mindset and willing to learn and being optimistic and, having that openness to be able to, like I said, have these benefits as well. Our next segment we're going to dive right into is going to be the barriers to the growth mindset, right? So what is holding us back from reaching our potential, right? So it's natural to doubt ourselves, it's natural to have these thoughts sometimes. However, a fixed mindset thinking often disguises itself with fear or perfectionism, right? So a key point I want to dive right into in regards to this segment is going to be fear of failure, perfectionism in comparison to block the growth, right? So like I said, this is sometimes when we're being hard on ourselves, we're looking into too much of the failure and we're procrastinating, just holding ourselves back. This is, blocking that growth. So I really want us to recognize that as well. Next is going to be the fixed mindset shows up in language, right? So I'm not just good at this, right? So the way that we speak to ourselves, the way that we talk to ourselves, that fixed mindset is keeping us stuck, keeping us stagnant, and keeping us from, moving into a transition that we want to be into based off of the mindset. So we want to recognize our thoughts, recognize what we're telling ourselves, in the language that we're speaking, right? Next is going to be awareness is the first step to change, right? So like I said, having these conversations, this is what we do, Thriving Talks, right? However, we need to have that awareness. We need to understand what's going on and to be able to transition for that positive change. In regards to some research insights from a 2012 study, in educational psychology found that students who internalize failures as a lack of ability were less likely to persist on challenging tasks, right? So like I said, it's about the language, it's about how we internalize these thoughts. We got to realize that we're human, we fall down, we get back up, we can do anything, get where we want to be based off of what? The mindset, right? So we have to take that in consideration to be able to persist through these challenges with that mindset, the way that we speak to ourselves. Like I said, that could be holding us back. Next segment, we're going to be diving into cultivating a growth mindset. So it's simple, right? With daily strategies, daily things that we can do to be able to help persist us to, having that growth mindset. Like I said, we have to apply the effort in order for us to see the changes. Like I said, it starts with that awareness, but at the same time too, we have to have that practice. So let's dive right into the key points, right? So we want to refrain from setbacks, right? So why did I learn versus I failed, right? What did I learn? So, like I said, you really want to analyze, you really want to break these things down. You really want to do that by what? Reflecting, right? So you could do that by just finding a nice conducive area, whether you're at a beach, whether you're at a park, whether you're at, you're sitting on a bench, whether you're taking a nice little walk around nature, connecting with nature, the trees, and really analyzing your feelings, your emotions, and what's really going on in your life. Or even just, like I said, just having some time to really just sit down and just write down how you're feeling, right? By that journaling aspect, right? So we really want to refrain from the setbacks. Next is going to be use growth language, right? So not yet instead of I can't, right? So I can do it. I haven't achieved it yet. You know what I mean? I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way, right? Then just saying I can't, just really shutting yourself down. So we really want to be speaking positivity into the language in regards to what we're speaking to ourselves. To be able to help us, navigate through challenges or any setbacks, to be able to cultivate that growth mindset. Next is going to be celebrate effort. This is really big as we're tracking our progress. It's not just about the outcomes, it's about the process, right? The process is really what's helping us change, it's helping us transition, it's helping us work through. And as we're realizing this, we got to be able to celebrate our progress. So take yourself out to eat, do what you got to do, but in some way or some form, I want you to applaud yourself on your back and celebrate. Next key point I want to be able to discuss is going to be surround yourself, right? So community and mentors fuel your growth. For me, I'm going to be real with you. I got myself a mentor when I was in UMass Boston. I was going for my bachelor's, and it really transitioned and changed my life. And we're going through a real chaotic thing worldwide when it came to that COVID 2020. That was a time where spiral changed in my life, where I really changed my mindset. So I want you guys to take this video into consideration, because when it comes to a growth mindset, when it comes to a learning mindset, when it comes to positive thinking, this can really change the way that you operate in your world, in your life, based off what your mindset in the brain. We have to really be able to take this into consideration. However, when it comes to some research insights from meta-analysis in psychology bulletin in 2018 showed that interventions promoting growth mindset led to improved academic and behavioral outcomes across all age groups, right? So I want us to take that in consideration, that we all have the ability to improve in different aspects of our life by applying ourselves in, like I said, reflecting and having that awareness when it comes to our mindset. So just wrapping things up in regards to our final thoughts, the journey is the reward. Like I said, we really got to be able to not just focus on the outcomes, but really marinate ourselves into the process, really practice, really apply ourselves, and things will happen when we put things to action, right? So I really want us to remember, growth doesn't just happen in leaps. It happens in steps, in everyday challenges that we face. we have the chance to evolve, we have the chance to improve, we have the chance to overcome whatever circumstance may be with a positive mindset. So one of the ways that we practice is by applying ourselves, like I said, with that effort. If you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, comment if necessary, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for thought of me. Take it easy.